Conor Poirier, where are you guys' head at on this? What are you guys thinking? Because we don't have a ton of evidence, right? You can't just look at their last fight and go, well, there's a gap there, and Dustin's certainly gotten better, and Conor's not the same. You can't do that, man. There was a lot going into that fight. Conor had been out forever. He touches down one time in January, locks up with Cerrone, but it was 40 seconds, 20 seconds. I don't think you can count that. I'm talking about ring rust. I'm talking about not being in there. And there's things that happen. This whole ring rust business, there's things that happen. A fight will happen at a speed. It will happen at a speed that is different than anything you'll see in practice. That speed will affect you, and you can get used to it. You get a couple of rounds in, boom, you're back used to it. No big deal. But you got to get used to it. And the same thing goes with your energy. When do I put the foot down? When do I pull back? Those are things that you learn on the go and you adapt and take with you from experiences that you previously had. Conor had to look back so far. I mean, Ray, I got to throw that fight out. And if anybody has shown us through history that they can adapt, that they can learn, and that they can come back against the same opponent and get a different outcome, it's Conor because of the Nate Diaz. That was not an overly competitive fight. Nate whipped his ass. It was fun to watch, but you're misremembering if you think that was overly competitive. Nate walked through him and did it in 7 minutes. Conor learned, he adapted, he changed, and he came back. But that fight specifically, Conor specifically, go back to the Nate Diaz fight, part 1. Conor hit him with that big left hand. The same shot that would put anybody else down and out. Nate was big enough, he could absorb it. And that rattled Conor. It rattled him. So in the second fight, he didn't use that same energy. He didn't put everything behind that left hand. It allowed him to extend. He came in very, very leg kick heavy with a game plan. It allowed him to extend. It was close. It was competitive. It was fun as hell to watch, but it was a different outcome. And Conor deserves a level of credit for that. And I only bring that to you because I got to throw their first fight out. It was too damn long ago. I got to throw the second fight out. I do. I think that was the worst version of Conor I've ever seen. But I also think it's the worst version of Conor I'm ever going to see. And I also don't think it was Conor's fault. Conor was the one trying to get in there and stay active and get fights. He couldn't get any. They were holding him out, trying to do this whole Khabib business part 2. I think it was a miss. I think if we were to all come to the table and be real honest and fair, we made a mistake in 2020 with Conor McGregor. He wanted to fight 4 times. We gave him 1. Come on. So then with the Poirier fight, he was sluggish, but there was areas. You have to understand this because all we're doing is talking, right? The fight's going to be between these boys, but we have a little talk before. I do believe that I'm right that was the worst version of Conor that we've ever seen. I also think I'm right when I say it's the worst that we're going to see, but we can identify why, right? It was his removal from competition. We can identify why it was his worst version. The other side of this that you cannot miss is even though the loser of the contest seemingly would have more motivation to work hard and to prepare differently and more things to learn, even though that seems to be where our mind defaults, the winner of the contest got those same experiences. To make believe that Poirier isn't going to go work on getting better or work to change things just because he got his hand raised is false. Poirier had some major success in that fight and one surprising area, which was the takedown. Conor's hard to take down, man. He's a pain in the ass. He's a pain in the ass to hold down. Chad Mendes got him down, had a harder time holding him there. Poirier did both. And I don't think anybody was more surprised than Poirier because that takedown attempt was bad. That was not Poirier's best takedown. Poirier was trying to offer Conor something to make Conor think and worry and know a threat existed. When they actually went down to the canvas, nobody looked more surprised than Poirier himself. So I think that's going to be a part of Poirier's plan coming to this third fight. I think Poirier is going to do everything and make everybody believe, including Conor, that this is going to be a shootout. And I think Poirier is going to, whether he succeeds or not, I think he's going to go for those takedowns. And if he can get it and he can keep him there and he can get some groundwork, you're going to have a very different fight than what you're preparing for if you're Team McGregor. What you do need to understand, and the point I'm really trying to push on you guys is it goes both ways. It doesn't just, okay, everything's great for Conor. No, Poirier had those same experiences. Poirier felt those same things. Poirier gained a confidence because he ate that left hand. Left hand that he wasn't sure he could eat. Left hand that he did not handle the first time they fought. So he's going to have a little bit different confidence, but mark my words and keep an eye on this. Poirier is going to come out and he's going to try, whether he succeeds or not, he's going to try to take Conor down. And if he does get him there, it's going to be rinse and repeat, which is going to be a very different fight than what we think we're getting ready to see.